This is the Honest Feedback Podcast.
Hi, I'm Lisset.
And I'm Brittney. You can also call us the Kings. That's our last name.
Yeah. We're not pretentious. I mean, we are, but
Only about blankets.
that's also our last name.
Welcome to Honest Feedback. This is a podcast where you can show up with your open heart and your messiness and your full authentic self and just be like, this is what I'm struggling with. This is what's hurting me. This is what's keeping me up at night and why I can't sleep. And I'm afraid to talk to my family, my partner, my job, my this. I need help and I'm not sure where to turn.
That's us. We find that a lot of our friends reach out to us. They want to talk to both of us at the same time. I'm like, what? You can't just talk to me.
No, I'm important. I have a voice.
And they often want to talk to both of us. So we're like, okay, we'll give them an opportunity to talk to both of us. And we'll give the whole nation, all four of you, an opportunity to talk to us.
This is your opportunity to talk to us.
It is. Because we get to be, I know in our lives we get to be a lot of people's best friends. There's a few people that are like, oh, you're both my best friend, which is so much easier because we both get invited to parties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Win.
It is nice when everyone likes your partner.
Yeah.
So we wanted to bring that to the community.
Mm-hmm. Share the good work, share the good wisdom that we found. And, we, as awesome and amazing and great that we are, we also have an amazing community of lots of other humans who are magnificent with their skills and with their gifts and with their life experience. So it's going to be a hodgepodge. Like, it's going to be us, plus possibly you, plus possibly other people who might have had a more life experience that could influence and support what it is that you're going through. It's going to be a co-creation, a collaboration, a mix and mash. It's going to be a swash, swash, swash. You know, I don't know what a swash, swash, swash is.
But you're going to find out.
Everybody's going to find out.
Everybody's going to
find out, yes.
Yay.
So that's a bit about this podcast and what we're hoping to bring here. Do you want to give people a little spiel about who Lisset King is? Because I mean, I know. Maybe you know. Maybe you don't know.
I mean, some of you know. You know.
You're about to find out. Tell people.
If you know, you know. I am a practitioner of NLP and hypnosis, and I really
What's NLP?
Ooh, great question. Neuro-linguistic programming. So I pretty much help people rewire their brains using their language.
Get out.
True story.
That's
True
out
story.
of control.
It's incredibly empowering. It's an incredibly empowering process that I go through with my clients, which really allows them to remove their blockages and live a life of purpose and really enjoy their lives, which is the most important thing, as you know.
I do. I have experienced the work. It is life-changing. Life-changing. Get it while it's hot.
Yeah, it's what I love to do, and I really wanted to get out and be able to help more people. So I was like, let me make a podcast with my boo and have some fun, have some extra time together, Yeah. And I really just want to hang out with my wife more throughout the day.
Well, yeah, we're married, guys. In case, for those who can't tell, yes, our last name is King, but we are not related.
I know, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, I guess now that we're married, we're related by marriage.
Yes.
Does that make you related?
I
we're
guess
family.
So. We are family.
We're family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to make something fun with my life. I love working with you and doing projects with you and just having fun. My name is Brittney, and I am a producer, pleasure conduit, and artist of many forms. Often people share with me baggage or struggles they're having around accessing their joy and their pleasure. And I am here to let the whole world know that pleasure is definitely an option for you. It's definitely my preferred way to go down these treacherous paths, and that you can find pleasure in everything that you do, everything that you are, everything that you wish to be. there's a pleasurable way to get there. So I'm here to support, hold space, and listen to callers. Today, our first callers are about jealousy.
Jealousy.
Dun, dun, dun. Jealousy. Jealousy.
Is that an actual song?
I don't think
You
so.
wrote it on the spot?
I wrote it on the spot. Are you familiar with this emotion referred to as jealousy? Is it an emotion? Is it a feeling?
Oh, that's a great question.
You
It's
decide.
real. It's a real thing. Am I familiar with jealousy? Yes. Something you should know about the Kings is that we are polyamorous. And I definitely dealt with jealousy in my monogamous days a lot more than. That's not true. I was super jealous during the beginning of my polyamorous journey. I lied. I was a bold-faced liar. I lied like a liar.
You lied like a liar.
I was so jealous. My first, I don't even know how long it's been, but my first several years of being polyamorous were very jealousy-ridden. So it was super challenging for me to see my partner with someone else. And I think it has a lot to do with being raised in our culture, you know, and especially being Latin, if I may say. There was something about being jealous that was a symbol of your love. You know, like how jealous you were. Like if someone wasn't jealous, they weren't that into you.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that being a theme. Yes. You wanted people to like punch through a wall. They're like, be upset.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely felt my own jealousy in trying to be a good monogamous person and then breaking through in my polyamorous journey of like, actually jealousy is not something that should be eliminated or even can be eliminated. However, it's something to be worked with and to reflect on, something to be worked on and worked through rather than just expressing it, like just letting it fly everywhere. Yeah.
I had a very different experience. You know, I came into polyamory and I was never jealous, not a one.
You lied. Lied like a liar.
No, that's a bold-faced lie. I came into polyamory and I was like, well, also it was a lot of news for me. You know, it was my first time dating a woman. It was my first time being poly. Like I was just like, it's fine. And so when I met Lisset, she was dating 4 people.
You were the fifth.
I was the 5th person. Yes. And so I was like, cool, I like all your other partners, several of whom are close friends. And I was like, this is great. It's like a party. And I was like, you know, la, la, la. And then she dated someone new and I was like, who is she? Why? Why? So that's when I got to experience like the jealousy part, and it was an opportunity for growth. Opportunity for growth. By the way, polyamory, if you're not familiar, huge opportunity for growth.
Yes, polyamory has definitely been the most advanced seminar I've ever done.
Yeah. Well, today our first caller is actually your other wife.
Yes, my platonic wife, Lynn. She's someone I have a soul contract with. We are madly in love. Yeah. Madly in love and also super platonic.
Love her too. She's the best metamor ever. Oh, yeah. For those who don't know what a metamor is, when you share a lover, like you're metamors.
Yes.
Because if they were your lover, you'd be a paramour. So we share a lover, metamor.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So the first voicemail is from Lynn. Here we go.
Hi, Lisset and Brittany. So I could definitely use some support around the subject of jealousy. So my partner and I have an amazing open communication, and we discuss our feelings and our boundaries openly and with compassion. So I trust the relationship, I respect it, I've been given no reason to feel jealous. Yet I know myself. I've always been challenged with the emotion of jealousy, and I've done a lot of deep work on myself over many years on the subject, including exploring and practicing polyamory in order to take full responsibility of my own feelings around jealousy, so that when I did choose to enter into a monogamous relationship, I would feel more confident about my own ability to work with my own emotions around jealousy. And now I'm married, and I haven't had many challenges with it. I feel like when I was exploring polyamory, it was fine because I wasn't intimately close over a long period of time with somebody. I feel like the closer and closer I get with this person, the more and more this old feeling comes up. So, my partner's extremely sexy, which is one of the many reasons I love him. And he's also a musician, so I know that as his career continues to move forward in a positive direction, I'm going to have to interface with sharing him a little and his sexiness with more and more people who, of course, will covet his sexiness, and I don't blame them. A large part of me feels amazing and wonderful. He's so sexy. We're together. We're in such a great relationship. And then there's this other part of me that just doesn't want to share him at all with anybody. Because according to that part of me, he's mine. He's mine, 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 mine. Mine, 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 mine. Mine. So we've already had beautiful discussions around what parts of intimacy, emotionally and physically, we choose to share and not share with others, and what parts of intimacy we choose to keep contained within the exploration of our own relationship. So I feel really great about trusting our relationship in that. Yet there's this other really large part deep down inside of me that has a fear around the future and around how this part that's now coming up a little bit for me, again, how this part's actually going to interface with the potentialities of the future. And I don't want to carry this fear with me in the present or into the future. One, because I just don't want to carry fear. And it's a seemingly silly fear that doesn't even exist yet around scenarios. And two, because I definitely don't want what I resist to persist. And I don't want to end up manifesting scenarios in the future that would cause me to interface and heal this part of me through those experiences. Definitely don't want that either. So I prefer to do the healing work now. Uncomfortable, yet I prefer it now. So Lisset and Brittney, I could definitely use your support. Please help me heal.
Oh, man.
You have the best wives.
I know. I've got a great picker.
I know you do.
Got a
You
great
do.
picker.
Gosh.
Yeah. I really just want to appreciate you, Lynn, for how woke you are.
Yes.
The fact that you know that you want to heal this now before it manifests or creates itself even bigger into your future. That's wonderful. Like, that's usually the place that I have to assist people into getting to. Mm-hmm. So mad props.
Mad props. Mad props to Lynn.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You want to start off?
I want to say, Lynn, I love you. I appreciate your vulnerability, your honesty, the fact that you're sharing this with us and the world, your heart, and what's really taking a toll on you. Some things that really popped out to me were, number one, you talked about fear of the future. Fear of the future. Who cannot resonate with that? Mm-hmm. The future is the great unknown, and who knows? You know, how do we set ourselves up to be supported so that the future doesn't have to feel like it's a scary, unfriendly, out to get us kind of place? Mm-hmm. I think you're doing step one with being honest with yourself about what is actually laying in wait, like what are the layers underneath that you are grappling with and struggling to be with.
The thing that stood out for me was the mine. It, it sounds like you have a great marriage, you have wonderful communication, you have really great boundaries, and it really is, you hit the nail on the head. It's your work to do. He's sexy and he's an incredible musician, and that was the thing that drew you in the first place. And with that comes he's sexy and he's a great musician. And that's going to come with other people coveting him. And there's nothing you can do about that. And I think you do know that. I'm just reminding you, there's nothing you can do about that. That's what you fell in love with, or that's part of what you fell in love with. However, what he fell in love with about you is so much bigger and it's so much more vast than anyone else can just come in and swoop in on. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys have something powerful. And the mineness of it all there's that grip that needs to get loosened. No one belongs to anyone at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I know we want to be like, this is mine. And anything that we've ever held so close usually slips away. Mm-hmm. So in order to have what you want as his career expands and everything, the more mine you get, the less yours he'll be.
I feel like you bring up an excellent point. Nothing belongs to anyone.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely live in a world where we pretend like this is mine. I filled out a piece of paper and I gave somebody other pieces of paper and that means it's mine. And I did this with this person and that means you're mine. And it's just not true. You can't own people. You can't own people's hearts. Everything is a collective sharing. So I feel like if we can expand our minds to be like, nothing actually belongs to us. Mm-hmm. And everything that I get to share with a partner, with a friendship, all these things, these are pieces that someone is choosing to share with me. These are gifts. Mm-hmm. And to like honor that gift of like, this person is choosing to share this part of themselves with me. This person is choosing to share this space with me. That's the important part to like remember and to treasure and to honor and to sort of restructure the way we think of things as so quote unquote belonging to us. Maybe it's more of a, I enjoy this person with me instead of this person belongs to me. Mm-hmm. Maybe with as opposed to might be a place.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just always good to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, maybe your career doesn't take you where you're exposed to a lot of people and everything. However, what do I know about you? You're hot. Have people coveted you before? Absolutely. And the only thing you know is how much you love him. You're not worried about you leaving him because you know how much you love him. And can you extend that trust and that appreciation back to him? Like, know that when he says he loves you, he means it. And everything's transient. Everything has an end. Just love it while it's here. Love it for all that it is. And you'll move through this. You said you wanted to move through jealousy, which is why you explored polyamory. Mm-hmm. And the universe keeps offering you. You're like, oh, they said, I remember your order of moving through jealousy. And now you get to move through it through your marriage. And I love that you're getting ahead of it. And that's all you can do.
That's all you can. I can share when I was feeling extremely jealous. I was like, Lisset had a new partner, and I was just like, I too tasked myself to work through the jealousy, to understand what was really going on, because what was happening for me was I felt not special. That was what my truth was. I felt not special. This person, while completely being their own person, also had a lot of similar interests to me. And so I just kept feeling like, I feel like she's dating just a different version of me, apparently a better version of me. And nothing could be further from the truth. But what I offer to you is, can you exploring yourself? What makes you so special? What makes you so unique? And hold on to that piece, because those are pieces that nothing can be taken from you, you know? Nothing about the essence of you can be replaced or replicated, no matter what it seems like someone else might be offering that seems similar to what it is that you share, give, gift. Everybody has their own particular flavor. And so really when I tuned in and learned for myself what makes me special and was able to hold on to that, I felt such a release around the jealousy part. And then being in a polyamorous relationship, how I viewed this person, I was like, obviously, we're all connected. And that is another piece of my soul who needs love. And I don't wish to deny pieces of my soul love. I love love. I want all the pieces of myself to have love. So that was a beautiful reframing of jealousy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the thing we are jealous about, and I know there's this invisible creature right now that you're jealous of. When you find someone you're jealous of, like for real, it's important to work on the inside, because we're only ever jealous from a competitive place. We think someone is doing something better than we are, or, they're more successful, or they're younger, or whatnot. We get into this comparison game, and all that's really being asked of us is to acknowledge ourselves and find that love for who we are exactly as we are. Because the more you love yourself, the less you give a fuck about anything else. The less you care about anything else.
We can be explicit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just bring it all back home. Bring it all back home. You got this. I know you got this. Plus, he's wonderful and you're wonderful, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. I love everything that you said. And I'm wondering, is there something tangible, actionable for my earth signs,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So something that's tangible and actionable is wherever you're jealous, feed that part of yourself. It's called SelfEdification. Build that part of you up. If you're jealous of someone because their career is thriving, even if you're experiencing jealousy because he will be coveted because his career is thriving, usually that's an ask for you to go inward toward your career. So find the area of your life where you're using comparison, and start to build your own love and appreciation and acceptance of where you are in life. And as you start to move that needle along, when you start to take that focus you had outward toward you, you create wonderful results. And the jealousy does start to just fly away.
I love that. I'm trying to think if I have anything actionable. Ayahuasca. That I found great answers and solace in that plant medicine. I do have to say, psychedelic plant medicine is not for everyone. Mm-hmm. Not everyone feels that calling to psychedelic plant medicine. I heard that calling from my soul, and that plant held space for me and was able to take me on a guided path through my heart, and I got a lot of great lessons out of it. That being said, mm-hmm. consult with all your guides before jumping into that one.
Yes, and maybe psychedelic plant medicine isn't for everyone. However, the process, what's being asked is processing.
Yeah.
With someone other than your partner. So we are both big advocates for therapy. Mm-hmm. Talking to someone else, talking to someone who you can talk to regularly, mm-hmm. and absolutely open and honest communication with your partner.
Absolutely.
Keep the channel of communication open with your husband. Let him know, whoa, I felt triggered in this moment. I don't necessarily need you to do anything. Maybe you just need it to be witnessed. The point is to share it in a way that's not putting it on them.
Or making them wrong.
Rather just sharing it in a way that they're aware of it is a really loving way to bring it into the conversation.
I'm wondering if we can just do a little role play for the people of what it's like to share a feeling with someone without making them wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to the podcast Multiamory. If you haven't heard that, listen to that immediately, if not sooner. Mm-hmm. They have a lot more episodes, so don't worry, we're not going to feel hurt about it. Come on back. But one of the tools they offer is a Triforce of communication. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to loosely paraphrase. It's, will you hold space for me? Just listen. Can you validate my feelings? Just agree with what I'm saying? Or can you give me feedback, solutions? And so oftentimes when Britt and I have to say something that's on the tougher side, we will preface it with that. And then when we know it's the space holding, then we can just, there's nothing for us to say rather than just hear it.
Yes. I'm going to share. Why don't we bring it back to my instance of feeling extremely jealous? A little crazy jealous. And I'll share my feelings about an event that happened with Lisset and I. Now, I do have to say, I'm going to say this maybe a little bit more calmer than I did in the moment because emotions are high. And I have found this resource to be effective when you can take a breath and then say what you feel. So just know that you're balancing two things, you know? For me, when I'm feeling real spicy, that's not necessarily the time to be talking because I will be talking.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, take a breath.
Yes.
Take a breath.
You gotta take a breath.
Another hot tip.
Another hot tip. Take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, so
Wait, what's my motivation?
you would like to stay in this relationship.
Okay,
That is
great,
your
great.
motivation.
Okay, copy. I got the okay.
All right. Lisset, I'm really upset. I'm feeling sad and angry and hurt and disrespected and not important. Today, when you made plans with your other partner at the same times that you had plans with me, and then honored your plans with your other partner, I felt like it was fucking bullshit. I don't know if you should say that, but maybe that's your feelings. But I felt like you didn't value me, our relationship. I felt like it was poor time management. I am experiencing feelings of like mistrust. I'm experiencing feelings of abandonment. This is hitting at my father wounds. It makes me feel like I'm unsure if I am safe in this relationship. And these are ways I don't wish to continue feeling.
Okay.
And so right now I just want you to hear me and hold space for it. And also to tell me that I'm right.
Okay. I hear you. And you're right.
Oh, sorry. I want you to tell me that my feelings are valid, not necessarily that I'm right. Okay.
Okay. I hear you, and your feelings are valid.
Thank you. I would just like to say feelings being valid is one thing. Right and wrong is a much harder, much more nuanced position. And in my experience, it never helps to have a partner say things that aren't necessarily true for them. But your feelings are always valid because they're your feelings, and those can definitely be honored. So that was my mistake to ask for her to say that I was right in that moment. Or maybe not even a mistake. I don't think that would have been the most effective support. Because if I felt that I was right and having her say that she said I was right, if that's not how she truly felt, would not be in integrity with herself.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Absolutely. Well, I had a teacher once say, he's like, you could be right or you could be in a relationship.
Preach.
Preach. So, yeah, in that moment, you asked me to hold your feelings, and that's all I did. Oftentimes, when you give the person that space, they'll be like, okay, now I'll listen to you. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right. Shall we move on to our next caller?
Yes, our next caller up.
Okay, so my question for you both is, I have been seeing somebody now for 6 months, and he's younger than me, and we come from very different backgrounds. He's been living in Maui for the last 10 years, and, you know, I was living in LA and just had a pretty wild past, and he seems to be very, obsessed about my past, and it's something that I know he really struggles with. It's hard for him to think about me with other people. It's hard for him to like think about me from my past. And I have a hard time like understanding what it is that, how I can support him. Sometimes he'll bring it up and then he'll say, I don't want to talk about it. And then I will say, well, can I reassure you? Or is there anything that I can do that can, make you feel more safe in this, or that I'm not reminiscing on my past, or that, I'm not sure where it's coming from. And he actually he has mentioned to me that he wants to go see a therapist. So I think that is something that he wants to work through. He doesn't know where it's coming from. He said it's like a loop that just comes in, and like all these feelings of jealousy and resentment, and he wants to like sabotage and like, break up with me. But then he's like, that's the stupidest thing ever, because you're the greatest thing ever. Why would I ever do that over something like this? So he is, he's kind of struggling with that. And but then again, he's also very like free sexually, and he has, he's like, I can tell, he like he looks at other girls all the time. And I mean, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe you guys have some insight, maybe not. Maybe it's just a complicated situation that doesn't really have any answers, or I am just doing the best that I can. I for now, I mean, unless you have any other suggestions how I can help manage this, or just what I can do to support him in the best way. Love this, and so excited to hear what you have to say.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Thank you, caller, so much for trusting us and sharing what you're going through. This is a prickly pickle.
Definitely.
Do you have any initial thoughts?
Well, first off, it's this, how can I support him?
Yes, that's the question.
That is absolutely the question. And it really does come down to, how can he support himself, and you hold space for his growth in that support? Because nothing that he's upset about is anything you're currently doing. And there's no way to wipe out your past. So to think that there's anything you can actually do differently, that's no. There's nothing you can do differently other than being who you are. And the fact that you want to support him is wonderful. I feel like I've been on both sides of this. Thinking back to having my own past, where I have had a lot of experience, and then being with someone who maybe didn't have as much, and having them be challenged with that, as well as feeling my own personal jealousy around someone having experienced a whole lot of life that I hadn't, and one of the things I do want to encourage this caller to do is, like, it is not your job to solve this problem of his. Like, it's great that he wants to get therapy.
Yes.
That's we're both big believers in therapy, because this isn't yours to solve. And there's no reason you should have to reminisce about your past or feel any sort of guilt for what you've done. And I feel like you do know that. It's just, the question was, how can I support him? And I really want to encourage you to support him without taking it on. Don't take on his stuff. Like, don't let anything about what he's saying make you feel wrong about where you've been or what you've done. Everything that you've done and everywhere that you've been is exactly what he fell in love with to in the first place. So it's certainly his place to work on this. And the obsessive loop, feeling jealous, feeling resentment, wanting to sabotage and wanting to break up, you don't have to sit through that loop or hold space for it. People treat you the way you teach them to treat you. So if he's running through that loop, you can put up your own boundary of, like, I understand it, I hold space for it, I hold compassion for what you're going through, and also I'm not going to, like, if you're going through that loop, I'm not here to give into that or play into that or add fuel to that fire.
that is a perfect time to talk to your extended resources, close friend, therapist, things like that, to hold that space.
Good job calling us.
Yes, good job.
Let him take care of himself. You said he's on the younger side, or he's at least younger than you. This is the work that comes with life experience. You know, I had a lot of jealousy growing up that I needed to unlearn. And it was a lot of social patterning. And true love is accepting someone where they are with all their scars and everything they've been through.
When you talk about social patterning, what like hit a light bulb for me was we live in a society that we live in a society that puts women into categories, Madonna and whore. And like, is that part of the paradigm that he's working through of like, I've fallen in love with this person and she's wonderful and she's beautiful and she's amazing and like, she's supposed to be my Madonna, but apparently there's some whole tendencies. No, but like, people really struggle with how they view women because we were raised in a society that's like, it's this way or it's this way. So I wonder if that might be something that he wishes to explore within himself, if like that might be part of something that's larger that's happening that he's essentially been brainwashed into thinking of women only in certain ways. And that's something to think about. And I also just want to remind you, like, what you reached out to us about was like, how can I hold space for him? How can I support him? And how do I understand? For me, how I feel that you can be of best support is to listen. Listen with compassion, listen with empathy, listen and just let someone know that you hear them and be incredibly present in that moment of listening. I feel like a lot of things can be solved by that. And my other big thing is continue to be your full, authentic, wonderful self.
Yes.
I think often in relationship, when a partner expresses like a fear or like a trauma or whatever it is, our reaction is like, okay, I need to pull back. I need to cut this piece of myself off. They can't see this. It hurts them, da 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 da. And in truth, us making ourselves smaller and less of who we are is really at detriment to ourselves, the relationship, and the other person. I don't care how many Oscars you have. No one can keep up a charade for your entire life. The truth of who you are will always reveal itself. So it doesn't do your partner any favors to lull them into a false sense of security, pretending that things didn't happen and that you aren't every amazing thing that you are. I feel like being your authentic self and compassionate listening are the best ways you can support your partner. And I agree with Lisset of like holding a boundary of like what is yours and what is not yours, and encouraging your partner to find resources and support for others who can hold the space of what is his. Because sometimes that can be you as a partner, but also that could be a therapist. That could be a close friend. That could be a support group. There are lots of ways to unlearn things, and some things you can be a part of and hold space for, and other things you're like, that's not my work, and it's not productive for me to be a part of that work.
Yes. Yeah, we're always looking for what's our work in this. And what it sounds to me is, how can you support him and still be yourself?
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing come through this. Like, you can love him while he's struggling, while still holding the boundary, while he's in his resentment, sabotage, breakup loop. So, you know.
Yeah. And I have compassion for this partner who is enduring these cycles, because I definitely too have been there where you're just like, I think I'm totally fine. And then all of a sudden a thought creeps in your head and you're like, why is this here? I'm upset now. I don't want to be thinking about them sleeping with somebody else. Like, and you're like, I feel like I have no control over it. And the truth is, it's like, it's part of your own work to figure out what's causing that pattern of thought to come into your head, into the present moment, because what's happening is not in the present. It's actually in your imagination because you weren't there. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
That's been my favorite episode so far. What did you say?
Definitely my favorite so far.
Yes.
We're so excited that you guys are listening to us and trying us out. This is the first of many, many more. And we would love for you to hit us up.
Hit us up. Call us. Send us a voice memo.
Yeah, you can send us a voice memo. You can call us. The number is here in the lower third for those who are watching. For those who
Right
are
here. Right here. Somewhere.
probably a little higher.
It says right around here.
Yeah, or maybe we'll put it at the top third.
And
There.
this number. Call this number.
Call this number. And if we have one and you're listening, I have added it in post here. 971-895-4111. That's the phone number. You can also email us at thekings@honestfeedbackpodcast.com. Save a voice note or a voice memo, and you can email it to us then. You can tell us your name, your pronouns, if that feels good for you, how you would like us to refer to you. If you want us to be like, I am long lost lover from Nevada.
Yes.
Or like,
Pseudonym or just whatever turns you on. We
Yeah.
can call you whatever you like.
yes. And
Except daddy. Don't be weird. Don't be weird.
what if someone's given birth name is daddy?
D-A-D-I.
Sure.
I will call him daddy.
Okay. Or them.
My apologies. I will call them daddy.
Yeah. Let us know how to refer to you. We cannot wait to be of service. And thank you for trusting us with your hearts and your souls.
Bye.
Should we have like a fancy
I was
send
about
off?
to say, you can't just be like, have a great day. You gotta have like,
Be honest with each other.
Ooh. And remember, be honest with each other, and especially yourself. Yeah. Yeah.